everybody, welcome back to finally my first friggin' race. Alright guys, so here's where my microphone just decided to quit, so we do not have any audio for the race, which stinks, but you can see we got the split start going on. I was third on the right side, Brad Harrington in front of me, Jesse Ward in front of him with the overall hole shot. You'll see the line on the right, that's Danny Mall. He got in front of me, so that puts me in fourth. Not bad, definitely feeling good. Fast lap. I'm with the front runners, which is pretty cool. I'll tell you, this track was mint, guys. Perfect dirt. You're gonna see that throughout the race, especially once we get in the woods. It had rained Saturday night, which it really needed it. I think the woods would have been fine, but the fields would have definitely have been dusty. But look at the dirt in the woods, that dark colored New York dirt. It's great. Now we got a huge straightaway right here, friggin' flying fourth gear pinned. I think the top speed I hit was just over 55 miles an hour, which is pretty good. So we're keeping these guys in my sights, feeling good. Obviously I'm still nursing a shoulder injury, and that would come into play a little later in the race. I had a hard time holding on the last couple laps, so I had to just slow down and just manage my pain. And obviously I wasn't trying to get myself more hurt than I already am, so we ended up just slowing down the last couple laps. And ultimately we finished 7th out of about 14 riders in Vet A, and I was 35th overall out of 256 riders, which is a really good crowd for this event. So overall I'm happy. I felt good overall. If my shoulder was 100%, I know I could have did a lot better, but it's all good. I have not been on a quad in 6 months, guys, so not bad. My first lap was definitely the highlight of the entire race. Kept these guys in my sights, even made a pass on Danny a little bit later in the race on this lap, and then eventually a bunch of guys got me back, but still had fun. It's definitely was a good time seeing everybody, hanging out. We got to spend a little extra time than some of the other races we've gone to, just because we know the promoters there. Obviously that's Potter's track, so we're allowed to come up a day or two early and hang out before the craziness starts. So that was fun. It was good to see everyone, got to see a lot of people, even met a couple new ones, which was cool. So you can see, we can still see the leaders. Jesse is just out of the screen. If you look far ahead, you can kind of see him up there. But I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling good. I'm back in the quad. Racing, riding, having fun. Don't pay attention to the temp light. That's just an electrical glitch with my cut harness. It's always on, so if the quad's running mint, it ran mint the whole race. We did not crash. All in all, like I said, it was a great race. We did lose our rear GoPro, which sucks. Hopefully we can get that back. And it stinks because if I would have had that now, I could have used the audio from that to splice it into this video. That would have actually worked perfectly. It probably would have been kind of loud because it is facing the rear of the quad, but I'm sure I could have edited it correctly, lowered it, and all that crap, and made it sound nice. So all right, here's another field section, which was different than what they've done in years past. Normally we just hug the edge of the field close to the woods, kind of like a straight shot, but this year they brought us way out into the fields. A couple turns, a couple straightaways, big giant circle, and then we make our way back into the woods. Definitely cool. So you can see everybody. You can see Jesse still up there. He's definitely pulling away a little bit, but I'm keeping these guys in my sights, which is good. Definitely was happy with my first lap overall. I was definitely feeling good. Quad was handling great. Here we get into another fun wood section. See that dark dirt? It's friggin' perfect dirt, guys. Perfect dirt. So this track was right around 9.5, just a little over 9.5 miles long, which was pretty good sized track. We did do 4 laps. Here we have another short, I think this is, oh no, this is, yeah, it's like a short little field section. And then we'll get back into the woods. Definitely flying. I'm definitely flying over here. It's definitely fun to be back with these guys. There's a lot of new faces in the Vet A class. A lot of the D6 guys came over. They heard a lot of great things about Nyoa. A couple of them had done some races last year, and a lot of these guys are giving it a shot for the full season, which is good to see. The numbers have definitely grown this year, guys. As far as quads and bikes, they're definitely pulling in some big numbers. They had a couple races where they had almost 300 quads, which is insane. So if you don't know, this is the second largest national cross-country series in the US. That's the Nyoa series, New York Off-Road Association. It's AMA sanctioned, so it's definitely the real deal. Another quick field section, right out in the middle, back around, and then we dive right back into the woods again. So this section is, well, this is just like a quick section. Then we do get back out into another field section, another longer field section. See how they kind of run us way up top, and then we just circle around and come back around. So you can see we are catching one guy from another class that's in front of Brad. I mean, not in front of, that's in front of Jesse. So normally this is how we run the fields. You can see how we're just right on the edge of the fields and the trails. So back in the woods. This dirt, I still can't get over the dirt, guys. This was absolutely amazing conditions. The Pee-wee and mini racers, they did have, it wasn't horrible for them, but it was a little bit more difficult because it was still pretty wet early in the morning. So the track was pretty slick for them, but you know, they all ended up making it a good race. So we just passed Danny right there, you see. He will get me back a little bit later along with a few other guys. So now we're right behind Brad, just trying to stay with him, just keep him in my sights. And now we can see Jesse in the picture again. We're kind of all moving together in a train, freight train. Reminds me of some of the battles we had last year. I battled with these guys every single race pretty much. It was definitely a fun season. Definitely miss being out there with these guys. I think we're gonna come out into just a quick field section again, and then we should duck right back into the woods. Yep, so we just got a hard right over here. I think we just passed mile marker 3 or 4, it looked like right there. I think it was 3. Tiny little rock garden. Real short field section back into some tight stuff. So this was probably the tightest spot on the track right here. Especially right here. Right here it got tight. A couple turns left, right, left, right. Gotta pay attention, stay off those trees. And then we are back in the fields. I think this is the last field section for a bit anyways, and then it's back in the woods. Fast left-hander. Another straightaway. And here we go, we're back in the woods. This was probably one of the muddiest sections of the track. Just up ahead you'll see, even when it's dry, this section always has water. It's funny. So as usual, it was already wet, and then with the added rain, it got a little muddier, but it was fine. It kind of blew off pretty quick. And then once we get across the street, there was a couple spots that were kind of like that too. But again, it pushed off, and the track was mint. I think we just passed the 4, that looked like. This was a fun section in here. It does tighten up a bit, but it's not horrible. But it does get a little tighter. Definitely semi-rough. It's got some whoops developing. Straight away, kind of reeling them in, kind of reeling them in. I really wish we had some sounds. Can see a tree stand on the left right there. We just passed it. There's actually quite a few in these woods. This is definitely one of the nicest properties that we race on. Little log jump. Log jump. This section gets tight too. Just up ahead. So every year at the end of the race, so like this coming week and weeks to follow, Potter and his crew will actually bulldoze this whole track. They'll put it all back nice and fresh, and this place will heal up pretty much like we were never there come next year. It's actually pretty awesome. You'll see in the race vlog we show you a few different spots of the track and how it looks before we race it. And it just helps the tracks from getting destroyed. He also has done that with Greek Peak Mountain Ditch Banger. We just had that race maybe 6 weeks or so ago. I did not race that one, but I was there. So you guys might have seen the race vlog and when we biked the course, but that one was another one where we did have some mud last year, so that place, it didn't get destroyed, but it got, you know, it got worked in a little bit, but they dozed it and it was like brand new. And he did the same thing this year. He does it part-time after work and on the weekends. And I just talked to him not too long ago, and he actually said it took like a solid month for him to finish all the dozing. So it's definitely cool to see how much work he puts into these tracks. And they'll do the same thing here. They'll put it all back like it was untouched, which is sweet. So next year we will have another super awesome track. You can see Brad is starting to pull away. I still got him in my sights, but he's starting to get a little bit of a lead ahead of me. Just trying to be smart and not hit trees, which I had a great race in that aspect. I did not crash, did not have to get off the quad, did not get stuck, so that was good. We just tried to be smart and just try to manage my shoulder as best I could. Oh, looks like Brad missed a gear right there. So we kind of reeled him back in this section, this tight stuff. But he will extend that lead little by little again. He was flying, that's for sure. All these guys were flying. Another fun section right here. This section was pretty cool. This part was actually kind of new. Normally we would stay kind of on the outskirts of the trails where you can see the fields, and it wasn't like a straight shot. You can almost see where that trail on the left was. That's the way we used to go. So we actually changed that whole section in there and just added a little more woods and some turns, which was pretty cool. They always add stuff every year at this track. They reverse the direction, which is fun, and I think I like this direction better versus the other direction. I don't know what you guys think, but drop in the comments if you like the way the direction was for this race, or if you prefer how it was last year. I just think the flow just worked so much better here. It just felt like the track was faster. I don't know, could be me, but that's just how it felt. It's always fun either direction, but I like the way this track was this year. Well, we still got Brad in my sights, which is pretty cool. I'm hanging on. I don't know if that said 5, that mile marker. Not sure. So we are working our way back to kind of the center of the area where we are all parked. We're gonna come out to one quick field section with a jump, and then we do another short section of woods, and then we come out to that same field section again where there's a couple more jumps. It was actually a lot of fun in that section. It's where a lot of the crowd was hanging out, watching everybody jump, which was pretty cool. And then once we get past that, we start working our way to the section that's across the road, which was a super fun section. That section was like 2 miles, maybe just over 2 miles, with some really fun hill climbs. It was friggin' awesome. Yeah, we're still hanging on to the end of Brad's Honda. We're still got him in our sights. I think once we got across the road, that's where I think I lose him. Or I should say, where he loses me. Yep, you can see the field out in front of us. I want to say, yep, so this is the first little field section. Just quick out. Oh no, so this is the, we already missed the other one. We already did the other one. So this is just with the other, there's like 2 or 3 jumps over here, which is pretty cool. Just little tiny tabletops. We send that one to flat. And then there's like a little step down jump, which is cool right here. We send that one. And then he built like a little step up jump. We hit this once. It was a little sketchy, but we nailed it the first time. Definitely felt that in the shoulder, so we didn't do that anymore after that one. So you can see Brad's pulling away just a little bit. So back in the woods, now we're gonna work the last section of trail and then get across the street, which is pretty fun. Actually, I think I lose a spot up ahead. It might be this lap or the next lap. It might be the next lap, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Some fans right there watching. It's actually hard to pick like my favorite part of the track. Across the street is probably gonna get my vote. That section across the street was so much fun. You guys will see that in a couple of minutes, but when you get into these longer wood sections on the main side of the track, these were all a lot of fun too. So we get into another section on this side that is always muddy, even if there's no rain, there's always water right here. And obviously it's getting dragged up the trail, but it does dry out pretty quick. You can see we're already on dry ground again. Had a little bobble right there, and now you can see Brad is just about gone. Oh, you can see him right there. We are catching, looks like catching another rider from another class. There's another little muddy section, not horrible. This line to the right actually sucked. The other laps we took the left line, which was a little faster. you will see one of our guys coming right there. That's either I want to say that's Jason Wing. He probably could have stuck that pass on me if he didn't back off, but short field section. We're getting there, guys. We are almost at the road crossing. One last little final section, a little muddy right there. Oh, I'm so bummed that we lost the sound on this video. Brand new camera, Hero 10. I did use my mic on it. I tested it before and it worked fine. So I'm not sure what exactly went wrong. If it's the mic mod adapter or what it is, but I'll have to mess with that because this is unacceptable. So I gotta get around this guy. I think I get by right here. Yeah, he lets me by. Thank you. Try to get Brad back in my sights. We can still see him, so I'm not that far behind. Just gotta keep moving. I definitely can hear the guy behind me. He's right with me. A little slick right here. That section's always muddy too. There's always water down in that low spot, like all the time. All right, here we go. So we come out to the last little bit of field section, and then we're gonna head across the road, which is, like I was saying, my favorite part of the track. This is where you're gonna see some serious elevation changes. We'll start with just a small little hill climb, not really that high, but just, you know, kind of going up a little bit. And then we're gonna shoot down it and then climb up the other side of it. Right here, this was a good hill climb. Friggin' third gear pinned. Friggin' just hang the hell on. And then we'll end up going down again. This next hill climb was a good one. Right here, this was a good one too in the field section. You could rail this corner pretty good and just friggin' fly right up into it. Try to hold the inside. I went a little wide right there, but we got it. We got it. Flying. Back down. I say the field sections where there was grass, it was choppy. Lots of little breaking bumps and whoops, man. It was choppy. Definitely was feeling it in the wrist every lap over here. We've got another lap rider in front of us, unless that is, no, that's not Jesse. Jesse is gone. I try to get around this guy. This is where Brad gains a little bit of time because I make a bobble right there. This guy's holding me up. Keeps looking, but he won't let me by. Try to get around him before we get back in the woods, hopefully. I think he lets me by over here. Maybe not. Oh yeah, alright, so he lets us by, thank you. And then we try to get back on Brad's tail. So here's the fun part. This is where the track gets fun. Back in this wood section, it opens up a little bit. So this was a whole new section that they cut in for this year, which was cool. And this is a section there was a good line on the left too right there, but I think this right line was faster, especially if you were in a heated battle with your class. Your best bet was to just stay in that right line. But if you were passing lappers or anything like that, or even a slower rider, that left line actually worked pretty well. I actually used it during a later lap for lap traffic, and I was able to get around them like nothing. So we got a really good hill climb coming up that they put in. We usually have it every other year just because of the direction of the track, so it's coming up, which was a good one. There was a go around. You could go around it. You would probably lose about 10 seconds if you did take the go around, but I think just about everybody went up the hill. So it was a little slippery over here. All right, so here's the hill right to the right. Nice hill, not too bad. Flying up that thing. And then back around. There's a couple more hills over here. Ups and downs, which was fun. This whole section was such a blast right here. All this, just some fast uphill turns and some fast downhill turns. This track had it all. If you guys have raced here before, you know this track has been track of the year multiple times, so you guys already know. If you've raced here, you know what to expect. So we still got Brad in our sights, which is pretty good. I thought I had lost him during this lap, but I'm still with him. So I think second lap, that's where I fell apart. That's where I just started slowing down, and a bunch of guys had passed me. There was a nice inside line there on the left, which, oh, so that was, actually I think that is a rider from a different class. So he is not in our class. He is from the 200th row. I think he was pulled over before we had passed him. He must have had an issue, but I actually went back and forth with that rider just about the whole race, which was kind of fun. Most of my race after this lap was pretty lonely. I was by myself most of the time once those top guys got away from me. And then I did catch, obviously I caught some lappers, but this guy, if I can see that helmet sticker, I could be sure, but I think this kid, me and him kept going back and forth a bunch, which was fun. Unless that is, I don't know, that could be Jason Wing. I'm not sure, because he has a blue Yamaha too. I can't tell. It's hard to tell. But like I was saying, I did battle with a College A rider. The quad looked exactly the same, blue Yamaha. Almost the same color gear, I'm not sure, but whatever. So here's a fun uphill. This section got pretty beat up, all whooped out. You can see right here, all whooped out, but you just lean back and friggin' pin it, get up here, hang the hell on. At this point, my hands they weren't hurting, but my left hand, just my strength was starting to go away a little bit. So my right hand was fine, but my left hand was definitely getting tired. And it would only get worse as the race went on. Like I was saying, my third and fourth lap, it was really bad. It was almost to the point where second lap I was almost gonna pull off, just because I didn't want to risk hurting myself. But I just slowed down and I was like, I'm staying out here, I'm gonna finish. And that's what I did. This turn I took super wide, out of control. Crappy line, that was a crappy line. This section was fun too right here. You could fly over here. You can see all the campers. We are working our way to the finish line. We are probably less than a half mile away from it. And that's the end of lap 1. On the hard. Yep, there's definitely someone on my tail. That's another guy from my class. Just trying to hang on. I'm trying to hang on for dear life over here. So I actually think I'd have to double check the results, but that might have been Jason Wing that did pass me back there, because I think when I came through I was in 4th place, so that would be correct if that's the case. And I think when I came through on lap 2 I was in 6th place, and then I think I lost a spot. I think on lap 4 I lost a spot, or it could have been lap 3, I'm not sure. There's Brett Wardy working the flags. Yep, so I am actually in 3rd still, so that was definitely a different rider. That was that 200s rider, I'm pretty sure. So I think Jason Wing is right behind me. Here we go now, we gotta start all over again. Gotta thank my buddy Skaggs and his buddy Sean, and I think, see, they were ready for gas, but that was a little too early. We weren't gonna get gas till the third lap, but he helped pit me. I think Jackson gave me goggles that race, so huge thanks to those guys for taking care of me. There's a hard right turn coming up right here. So Brad is, we can just about see him up there. He is pulling away. That's going to be the last we see of him. He pulls right away from me. This is where I pretty much start going downhill, losing minutes every lap. I think this lap I was a minute slower. I think the lap after that I was like 2 minutes slower. And the fourth lap was my worst lap, and that might have been right around 3 minutes slower. So this section, that section right there was a little tricky. You had to be careful when you jumped that little mound right there. There was an inside line, but you had to be ready for it. Like you saw, I kind of jumped and went left, so I had to take that outside line. You can see Brad is just hammering. He's gone. He's trying to catch those other boys. And we're still moving at a decent pace. We're still moving. But you can definitely tell from the first lap, I slowed down a little bit. A lot of people are hanging out in this area too. It's a good spot to watch because you could see literally 3 spots of the track in one spot just by walking a little bit to the left or to the right, which was cool. I was parked over there for a little bit watching the Pee-wee races, which was cool, and that's kind of what I was doing. Bouncing around between these areas of track. You can see on the left and the right, there's track on either end, so it was definitely a good spot to catch the action. It was another friggin' long straightaway, friggin' flying. A little water there, not bad though. Here we go, back out to the fields. Oh yeah, those guys are gone. They are gone. You can see him way up there. You can see him to the right. He's over there. But he is way out ahead of me. I think Danny passes me right over here. He gets right on the inside of me. He gets back around me. Yep, right there. So there's Danny. That was a nice move, clean pass. We almost missed the track. If I was paying attention, I might have been able to sneak around him right there, but I was not paying attention. So I'm like, alright, let me just follow him again and see if I can hang with him. But obviously he's pulling away, so that plan is shot. This side was fun. The beginning of this side was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's tough to pick the favorite area. Like I said, I'm still choosing across the street. That was my favorite spot of the track. This section here Gets a little rocky, a little bumpy, a little tight, but there's lines. You can see there's 2 or 3 lines. So it's just a matter of trying to pick the fastest line through. There's a couple new lines appearing on this lap, it looks like. Probably from those 4x4 guys, Drew Campbell, Potter, you guys making your own lines. Back into the fields. There's Pembroke taking some video, cheering me on. I think she was cheering everybody on. Flying, here we go. Quick section, 4th gear. Downshift to 3rd, try to rail this corner like a pro, which I'm not. Then a hard left. Quick little section, and then we are back out into the fields. This section was a little rough too. Tight, turny, rutted out. There we go, out of that, back into the fields. Long straight, right back into 4th. Hammer to that corner. Try to rail it, I'm kind of railing it, not really, maybe a little bit. And back in the woods. I'm not sure who is in front of me right there, if that is a lap rider, if that's still Danny. Might be Danny still, it looks like a fluorescent bumper. So that might be him still. So he's not completely out of sight yet. We're still fighting a little bit. Trying to keep him in sight, just trying to pace. Field section. Another long, oh no, this was a short field section back into the woods. Had to be careful right there with that tree. I did see later in the race a quad that got tangled up over there. Not a good spot to hit a tree. One thing you guys will notice on this track is there's a lot of sections that have multiple lines, which is awesome. So it made the track real easy for passing, especially when you came up on lappers. Looks like a broken down quad right there. I saw a few guys broken down. Definitely sucks. Here's the tight section, the tightest section of the track again. Right here, you have to be real careful right there. Right out of there, back into the fields. This was a fun straight and a nice left-hand corner. Trying to hold the speed. Trying to hold the speeds. Try to stay wide. That was actually a decent turn. I will say that I am feeling it today, boys. It is Monday. We are editing this video. I am sore. Definitely sore, especially my shoulder. That's probably the worst part of my body. But then I have like the normal soreness just from racing because I have not been on a quad in 6 months. So it's definitely a shock to the body. But the majority of the soreness is a good soreness, like I just did a workout. But I do have some stiffness and some pain in my shoulder. So hopefully that'll just heal up. In the next few days, I'm going to go easy, probably not ride bikes for a few days or maybe even the whole week, just so I can kind of get back to where I was prior to this race. I was actually feeling really good with my shoulder. Started riding bikes last week for the first time in 6 weeks, so definitely just gotta be careful and let this thing get healed up 100%. So Danny, it looks like, I'm not sure if that's him or another rider, but he is gone. So it's just me now. I know there's guys in my class behind me. Pretty sure over here I could hear them. But we're still giving it our all. We're not giving up. We're not just letting people by. We're gonna make them earn it, especially in your class. Try to give them a little fight anyway, you know? Here's the other kind of semi-tight section of the track. Working our way around. So after a lap, guys, you know, the majority of the track is holding up pretty damn good. You know, there's some rocks getting pulled out, some roots uncovered, but for the most part, the track is still in really good shape. Believe it or not, this section of the woods, it could have definitely taken a little more rain. I know it's been super dusty all season watching all the results and a lot of the other videos that some of you guys post. It looks like the majority of the season has been dust bowls, which is no fun. Last year, 2021, the entire season was like a mud fest. So it's funny how this year is the opposite. Very rarely do we get perfect conditions like this. It's either one or the other. You gotta pick your poison. The dust definitely sucks, and I was always dreading mud races, but I think after last season, because the year before that it was kind of dusty. So here's the other little short field section with the one little jump. So you gotta just pick your poison. I think after getting so many dust races and having some close calls with turned around riders, almost head-on collisions, you know, I got a little better in the mud, and actually didn't mind the mud last year. I actually liked it more. There were some bad ones, like Broome, Tioga last year was hell. That was probably the worst mud race of the season. A lot of the other ones, it either rained Sunday morning, or most of the time it rained Sunday at 2 o'clock. And it either stopped during our race or it kept raining. But some of the rain we got actually just made the tracks better, like, because it needed the rain. This is how this one was. Like I said, you can see the dirt in here right now. It's, you know, it's not dusty, but it's dry. Like, we're right on dry dirt, so it could have used a little more, but we got enough that previous night. So we're just out here all alone, just by myself. That's a lapped rider, I think, ahead. I don't think that guy is in my class. We are slowly catching him. Try to pace him for a bit and then hopefully get around him. We're definitely catching him. We're reeling him in slowly, but we're reeling him in. I think I gave him some rev limiter, let him know I'm there. Hopefully he can move on over. Not quite on his tail yet, but I am getting closer. Now we're like right there, so now it's like, all right, come on, buddy, let me by. Let me by. Oh, this is where I got passed. I got passed right here. This was my mistake. I should have not followed that guy. So that guy, both of those guys are in my class. I know one of them is for sure. I want to say both of them are. That first guy could not see the sticker, so I'm not sure if it was a 400s rider, but I'm pretty sure it is. Or maybe that other guy is the 200s guy, I'm not sure, but either way, we know we lost at least one spot, so we're in 5th place, I think, right now. Working our way to that second little field section with the jumps, which was fun. That was definitely a fun section to go around, try to show off for the crowd. Multiple lines right there, which made it nice. Little rough section that was getting dug out pretty good. The ruts were getting deeper every lap over there. And then right back into some high-speed trail. Here we go, last little field section. Hit the tabletop, a lot of people still hanging out over here. See some thumbs up going on. Little step down, I did not do this step up anymore just because that first time, I'm not gonna say it hurt me, but I definitely felt it, and that was it. So that guy's in my, so that's Sean Tice. So that's another guy in my class. I believe he ended up winning, so definitely a good ride out of him. He came from maybe 6th place on lap 2 and worked his way all the way up front, which was good. He's one of the racers that came from D6 in PA, so he is new to Nyoa. He might have done some in the past, but this is his first season, I think. So definitely cool. Pretty sure he is in the points lead, and I would imagine at this point he has it locked up. Have to just double check the results, but I'm pretty sure he's won the most races, so I'm gonna say he's the current class leader and probably soon to be champion. He's moving. Oh, so this is where I make my little retaliation because of that rider that made a mistake, but he quickly catches back up to me and passes me. Normally I would charge so hard in a situation like that, but even at this rate I couldn't. I just didn't have it. Didn't have that strength I needed to push. Shoulder was getting weak, my hand was getting weak, and it was kind of getting sketchy hanging on. So right here is where I made a mistake, but he would have got me regardless. Took that wrong line. There he is, back around me, and then he is going to disappear. He's on a mission. He's pulling away, We're trying to keep him in my sights, trying, but it's not happening. So I took that crappy line again. Last 2 laps I took the left line, but this line sucked. It was definitely longer. You'll see him right there. So he just got out of that section. He went a lot faster. Working our way to crossing the road. This section was a little slick too. It still had a lot of moisture in it, but those GBC tires, they were hooking up all day. No problems at all for those. That B&R suspension, friggin' handling all that crap like nothing. The Fox springers, awesome shocks. Little water puddle right there, muddy puddle. This section was getting pretty nasty. Oh. Another broken down rider right there. Here we go, crossing the road for lap number 2. I want to say there is someone else behind me. It was either this lap or the next one. I had a rider pass me, I think just up ahead. I'm not sure if he was in my class or not. No, it must have been the next lap. Back up this hill, flying, third gear on it. And back up. This hill was so much fun right here. You could friggin' fly up it. Alright, so this is a lapped rider. We're trying to get around this guy. Looks like College A 200. He's trying to race me over here, which not sure why he's doing that, but whatever. We get around him. Give the Yamaha a little extra juice. Get right around him. Maybe try catch the guys ahead of me, which doesn't happen. That turn always got me every lap. Coming in a little too hot. Can't make that hard right. It was a little slippery there too, but it always threw me off that turn. I don't know why. Alright, here is the fun section. Still taking that right line. I think one lap. I think it was the last lap. I took the left line. And it was because of a left rider. They went right, so I went left. I was able to make the pass without a problem. This section was so much fun, man. So much fun. Had a couple slick spots, but like those two water holes, every year they're like that. Even if it's dry, it's funny. Look at that hill climb coming up. Just in another turn or two. Yep, right here. So here's the hill climb. The pro hill climb, you could call it. It was a good one. There's Jordan. I think that was Jordan yelling at me. Probably wants to know why I'm doing so bad. We are just, oh, there's another broken rider right there. Broken quad. we will see 2021's raffle winner, the guy who won my previous quad, the blued out YFZ. He ended up tagging a tree. I think it was lap 2 or lap 1, I'm not sure, but he ended up just rubbing against a tree, ended up breaking a ball joint. So he was doing good. I think he was leading, so we took that nice inside line that time. That was a good line. So he was leading, and then unfortunately he broke down, which stinks. But a lot of people were asking me after the race, like, oh my god, we saw you broken down. And I'm like, that wasn't me. I'm right here, I just finished. That was funny. You see that yellow bumper, and that's like my sign. So this was a fun left-hander uphill hill climb. That was cool. Another tree stand, some fans cheering me on. Thank you, thank you. We are just about out of this section. Get back across the street to the finish line. You see, you got multiple lines right there. This section was tricky. I should have stayed on the outside. I had to put on the brakes quick. Another little muddy area. This area is too, like every year, it's always muddy. Back up this last hill, and then we are out of this section. Trying to hammer down, trying my best to hammer down. What I will do, guys, I'm hopeful that the Twisted Fence crew will find my GoPro. If they do, then I will re-edit this video and I'll use that sound from that camera. It should work perfectly. Plus I will have maybe a few clips that are useful, or usable I should say, with that rear cam action. So hopefully we can get that, get the sound, I can marry them together and make a better video for you guys. This is definitely, I was definitely so bummed when I went to just check the footage this morning and then the sound just cut out. I was like, come on. So that was better. Definitely made that corner the right way that time. I was definitely upset. It's not like I'm gonna be at any more races this year, so this was like my one shot. Obviously you guys know Greek Peak I got hurt, so I blew that shot. So we came to this one for a little redemption, and my audio craps out, so don't even know, but I will try to test that setup again before I use it, just to see if I can see what happened, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Otherwise I'll just go back to using a Hero 7. Alright, so here's the broken down giveaway quad from last year, Tyler. We're just about to the finish line. See if we can see. I should be in 6th place on this lap, which isn't horrible. I wasn't last, so it wasn't a complete loss, you know what I mean? I was just definitely not trying to be last, so. Finish line. Look at these bales to slow you down. We got Brett. No, that's not Brett. Looks like we got Roach on the right. Yep, so we're in 6th. So I was right. So I lose one more spot between lap 3 and lap 4. Oh, somebody cheer me on right there. Thank you, thank you. Skaggs is gonna be ready with my gas again. I go right by. We usually we do usually like to pit at the end of the 2nd lap or the end of the 3rd. Normally I would have stopped here. See, he's ready with the gas, but I don't know. I don't want to stop yet. I just want to keep going. So we ended up hitting on the third lap. We got some goggles and we got a splash of fuel and we got back out there. But I think this is that 200s rider that I was seeing before. Me and this guy hook up, I want to say this whole lap, and we go back and forth a couple times, and I actually think he might have passed me back when I stopped for gas, but I thought I got around him again. I actually don't remember, but I get around him right here, so I got around him there. But it'll be a little later. I'm not sure exactly where, but he does get back around me again, and I want to say that I get back around him another time or two. So it was actually fun racing with him. He was like the only guy I saw this lap. I think we do catch some more lappers here and there. That guy's pulled over. I'm not sure if he's broken out, but he's pulled over, so we get around him. Run over that little tree. You can see there's 4E boys. John Eckhart. I guess he must have been working this race. I raced with him for a couple years in senior A. It was a good time. He actually tried a 4x4 for a few races this year. He said he friggin' loved it. And he had a couple really good races. He had, I want to say 2 or 3 podiums, which was really good. There's another broken down rider. Definitely seeing more broken down riders. This lap we got, oh, that's just spectators, so that's good. We're in this fast straight section, which is fun. See, the dirt is real dry right there. Still holding moisture though. You can see just how dark it is. There's another one of the 4E crews on the right in the red shirt. That was one of the things that definitely I could feel the most when I was trying to like wheelie over those ditches and those ruts and the puddles. Like that I could feel with my shoulder a lot. So I definitely got lazy the last couple laps and kind of stopped riding like that, stopped riding aggressive and kind of slowed down and just rolled through them, which sucked. But it was starting to get to a point where my shoulder, I was feeling it more and more. Nice field section, flying, or trying to, I should say, trying to fly. We saw Bobby J out here in one of the field sections snapping pitches. He got a couple good shots of me. Always making me look good. Huge thanks to Bobby J Photos. He's right there. See him on the left, right there. So make sure you guys support the series photographers. There's quite a few now. Bobby J's definitely one of the most well-known. You got T. Irving, she's another one. And then this year there's a bunch of new ones. I know Justin McGlynn is doing photos now. And then I saw, geez, I must have saw a half dozen people snapping pictures. So I don't know the rest of them, but I'm sure if you guys are on social media or if you are racing the series, you already know who they are. But support your series photographers. Buy some photos. I mean, come on. You guys spend all this money. They don't have to be here. They can friggin' stay home and do something else. But they're spending their whole day, sometimes weekend, out here with us. So help them. And we want to keep them at the races. So you got to buy some photos. You know, even if it's just one, buy a photo. I always buy photos every race, even if it's just one, but it's usually more. It's usually inexpensive. You can get the digital downloads usually for free, $3 to $5. You know what I mean? It's not a deal breaker. So grab a photo and support these guys and girls. So the sections like this right here, this was really wearing on me, where it was getting tight, chopped up. It was really, really starting to bother me. Gotta rest up in the field, sit down. There's Pembroke again. She's telling me, go, go, go. I'm trying. Swing around and then back into the woods. I don't know if someone's behind me. I think that 200th rider is right on my tail. I gotta see if I can catch his number at some point. I didn't really hang around at the finish line. You guys know how we roll. Even if I would have won, I don't even wait for trophies anymore. I haven't done that for quite a while. We kind of just get right back to the camper. We load up, clean up, and we get on the road because this one was just over 5 hours for the drive home. So we got done pretty early, which was good. We were all the races were right on time. I think the dirt bikes ran a little late, but our race was still right on time. And we were loaded up and done and on the road at like 5:13, which was friggin' awesome. Usually it's closer to 6 o'clock, which means we don't get home till 11 or 12 a.m. But we got home, we got to my house at 11, which wasn't bad. Ryan is like 40 minutes further south from me, so he didn't get home probably a little closer to midnight, but it's definitely the hardest part about this for us guys. And one of the reasons that why we didn't race this year, mainly it wasn't the driving, it was just the added cost this year with fuel prices and food prices, and it would have cost us triple of what it cost us last season. So last season we split races. We took turns driving. I would drive one, he would drive the other, take his camper, his truck. I would do the same for my turn. We'd split the food, and it was extremely cheap. I think last year we didn't even, Jesus, we probably spent maybe just a little over $3,000 between food and fuel. So if we would have run it this year, now I did calculations right away when things were changing. We did Camp Coker, me and Johnny, and we spent, that race alone cost us $2,000. Obviously it's South Carolina. Nyoas are closer, so it does make them a little more affordable. The average drive is about 5 hours. But if we were to do all the races this year, we would have been just over $10,000 between food and fuel. Now, we would have split that obviously, so it's not that bad. But Ryan, he was out from the beginning, and that really left me no choice. I didn't want to run the series alone. Driving alone, yeah, once in a while I don't mind doing it, but driving to 11 races by myself, it's not that I'm worried about being alone. I have no problem with that part of it. Just, you know, if something would have happened to me and I, you know, God forbid I get hurt at the track, you know, now I'm stuck there. I might not be able to drive home. So it's always good when you have a buddy with you for that reason. But I wasn't gonna spend $10,000 racing the series by myself, which sucks. Hopefully fuel prices come down more. They are dropping a little bit, but they're still up there. Hopefully they keep coming down, and hopefully next year things are a little more back to normal. And me and Ryan already have been talking, and I think we're both pretty much in agreement where if he's in, I'm in, and vice versa. So, you know, we still have a lot of time, but we're both, obviously you guys know I'm building a new bike, which will be ready for next year. Ryan wants to get a new bike together, so we'll have that to do over the winter and get done, and then we'll obviously have to get back to training, which that's the easy part. I already know the formula for that. I already keep myself in decent shape just with the bikes. I just got to start riding again regularly on the quad, which is easy. Get my shoulder healed up, and I'll be back next year hopefully. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on prices and everything, but that is our plan at the moment. Try to get back out for a full season. Definitely miss it. We do have the Renegade. We're raffling that off. So we got, I think, right around 60 spots left. If you guys want a spot, you guys can email me here or contact me on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. All the social media bullcrap. We're hoping we can get that thing filled by the end of September and raffle it off at the end of September or like the first weekend in October. We will do a live YouTube video like we did on the last one, which will be good. And then once we get that thing going, we can buy the remainder of the parts we need for my quad. I do need a good amount of stuff. I need an engine, which obviously that's a pretty big item. We need a radiator, we need a stabilizer, we need a fan, spall fan, we need a vortex, we need front shocks, we need brake lines, we need a rectifier. What else do we need? We need a chain and sprockets. That's actually not a big deal. I could probably buy those soon. We need a skid plate, belly skid plate. We did just order flex bars and their rear brake clevis, which is awesome. So we should see those soon. We'll get a video on installing those bad boys. I will say thank God for flex bars, because who knows if I would have been able to go on the whole race with my shoulder if I had regular bars. It definitely helped. It definitely helped me last for the whole race. Just taking all those little bumps and hits just helped absorbing those through those handlebars. It's definitely a must-have mod in my opinion. But yeah, we need a good amount of stuff for the new build. We already got plastics, we already got the exhaust, we already got the wire harness, we already got the new rims and tires, we got tire balls already. So we do have a good amount of stuff. We already have a brand new fuel pump. Oh, I need an oversized gas tank. There's another item that I need. So we need a good amount of stuff. So once that 4x4 is gone, we're gonna just order it all. A lot of stuff we're gonna get right from DNR. We're gonna do custom Fox springers again, because those are the best shocks ever. And then some of the other parts we'll order direct through my sponsors. So guys, buy a ticket, help me get rid of this thing, because I can't finish the new quad until it's gone. So help me out, guys. Take a chance. You might win a quad, you might win some money. The thing is badass. I actually rode it last week. I had to take it out of the garage to get the Yamaha out to load up. And I I can't even talk. I may or may have not ripped up and down the neighborhood for a little bit, which was fun. But alright, so we got some lap traffic right now. Not a huge deal, just try to find a spot where I can get by. This section was, oh, there we go. So this guy lets me by, him too. Thank you, thank you. Looks like there's another lapper just up ahead. We're gonna catch him, I think. I definitely was getting fired up when I would see a lapper and I'd be reeling him in to pass him. Yep, thank you. He lets me by. Because like I said, a lot of this race, oh, there's another broken down rider. A lot of this race I was alone, which sucks. It's definitely tough. Like when I'm on my game, you know, if I'm in the lead or in second, whatever the case might be, and I'm alone, it's really hard to pace yourself. Like you feel like you're going so fast, and then you look back at your lap times and you're like, Jesus, you know? So if you can chase someone, it always helps. I've always done that, where if I catch a rider in the class ahead of me, you know, a faster rider, whether it's college A or junior A, I just try to latch onto them and just try to stay with them as long as I can, and that's actually helped make me get faster. So here's another lapper. We'll get by this guy hopefully. He's gonna go by. Oh, so that was a good line. That was a good line. So I want to say, I don't know, I know I didn't get all 4 laps, so I want to say we have maybe 10 more minutes or so of this 3rd lap, and I think the camera did die. I did have it on for quite a while at the start, so I definitely wasted a good 10 minutes of battery life there, so that was my fault. But we got, I think, a good enough amount of video for you guys to just, you know, see the track and just see how I did overall. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure you drop me some comments. Here we go, another lap rider. We got 2. So I'm giving these guys the old rev limiter, but there. So that was good. That guy moved over, and the guy in front of me, he's like, "Yeah, thank you." And I'm like, "What the hell?" So then he moves over. We get by him. Clear track ahead. Like I said, yeah, that's just about it. So we got about 2 or 3 minutes left on this one, guys. Not even. Less than a minute. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm sorry about the sound. We'll get that fixed next time. Make sure you guys subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and like this video, and we will see you guys on the next one, alright?